This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. Thank you to our sponsors, Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics, for making this possible. Glad you've joined us. This is the only show in the Omaha area that talks about real estate, development, construction, really anything related to your favorite city becoming bigger, more vibrant, and more prosperous. Well, without any further ado, it's time to bring on my co-host, a man who is a legendary real estate deal maker and one day past his birthday, seemingly in pretty good shape given the circumstances, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Might want to turn on your microphone. There we go. Now say it again.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jeff.
Well, good morning, Trenton.
Good morning, Bill.
You know, at age 50, people are probably wondering, who the hell's Bill? That's our producer.
Who didn't turn on my mic?
But people are probably wondering at age 56, you probably don't stay out late partying on your birthday on Friday night.
It was actually pretty mellow, and we'll probably celebrate tonight more than we did last night.
Well, we've got some pretty good news that we're celebrating at our office, NAI NP Dodge. We announced this week our merger with First Management, Inc. So NAI NP Dodge is the commercial real estate arm of NP Dodge, which is, the Nebraska's largest full-service integrated real estate company. Been around since 1855, 170 years for the mathematically challenged. At any rate, we're always looking to grow and develop and serve our clients even better. And so we worked with Eric and Randy Wiesler and their partners from First Management. This is a commercial real estate firm that does a lot of different real estate, but they're really well known for retail space. They have 1.6 million square feet, been around for 60 years. We've joined forces. So the First Management folks have moved into our NAI NP Dodge offices and our NP Dodge Management Company offices, and we're all going to be working together as one big real estate company, and we're going to make an even bigger dent in the Omaha market. Yeah,
very exciting. Led on our side by our fearless leader, Deb Grave, who always does a fabulous job, president of NAI NP Dodge. And Jeff helped as well as very little. The folks from First Management, Inc. You may know them as Management, Inc. from way back when. They trace their roots back to collaboration with John Wiebe, who not only worked on the Enola Gay, a self-taught engineer. I got to meet him a couple times. His name's on a lot of things as a philanthropist, donated a ton of land, a ton of money to children's charities as an orphan himself. And he built a couple things. He built a lot of things, but he built the Center Mall, the fabulous-looking property. It's more of an office building now. It had an anchor of Brandeis. Then he built Westroads.
May have heard of it.
And, yeah, absolutely. And he had a lot of strong relationship with a gentleman by the name of Ed Schoening, who is up there in years but still has a foothold in Omaha and built a lot of properties. So we are delighted. For 3 decades, I've worked with Randy and Eric Wiesler. And on the property side is Tom Adams, who recently retired, and then his son Nick, who does the property management. So we're excited to have them in the fold and collaborate with them. And so we're excited to see NP Dodge grow by about 1.6 million square feet of retail and office property management as well.
Well, we don't have a we don't have a Grow Omaha Eats restaurant column. It's an off week. We do those every 2 weeks. Those are written by Chris Corey and sponsored by Allmax Office Equipment. But fear not, you can read any of our reviews by going to growomaha.com and clicking on reviews in the navigation bar. But let's get into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. If you want to stop by the office, 114th and Davenport, just south of Dodge. They are in the business of helping you get your piece of the American dream, and we are now officially in late winter. In fact, March 1st is the first day of meteorological spring even if it's not official seasonal spring, meteorological spring, which means house hunting season. Before you go out there, you want to talk with Holly Schneidewind or one of her team members and figure out what the best lending solution is for you. Remember, they're not a bank. They shop the banks and find the best lending solution for you. EagleMortgageCompany.com. Well, Trenton, first up on the docket, Bellevue Bay Water Park, which we are eagerly anticipating, is going to have its groundbreaking March 20th, not that far away. This is going to be one of the 4 largest water parks in the United States of America, 100,000 square foot building with a retractable roof, plus a major outdoor area. Will open in 2027, $60 million project. Will be located at the interchange of Kennedy Freeway, a.k.a. U.S. Highway 75, and U.S. Highway 34, south side of Bellevue.
It is a very exciting project. Kudos to the city of Bellevue of how they've put this together. It's a very large project, and I hope it's incredibly successful. This is one of the Good Life Transformation Act projects that the state legislature put together, and I hope it does well. It's going to be out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people, but I'm sure that social media and advertising and word of mouth is going to be paramount to the success of this.
And location on that one is not critically important because it's going to be a 300 to 500 mile draw. And so it'll be one of those places that people seek out. And of course, it's going to be located along a freeway. Also, as the next several weeks and months go by, we're going to have more and more details about what's going to be built around that project, because it's going to be part of a massive complex, as Trenton said, will be part of the Good Life District program. Peterbilt of Omaha is building a truck sales and service center in Gretna. It's right along Interstate 80. The address is 11502 Wickersham Boulevard. But if you can picture southwest of the Interstate 80 Highway 370 interchange, there's a Walmart Supercenter. Just beyond that Walmart Supercenter, steel has gone vertical on that building. And also as part of that project, a new frontage road has been completed, which links that area to the west all the way over to 168th Street.
That project has been in the works probably for 7 years.
January passenger traffic at Omaha's Eppley Airfield was up 1.5 percentage points in January 2024. So that's an encouraging sign, especially since 2024 overall was the number one record-breaking year for passenger traffic in Eppley history. In January, 364,538 people went through the terminal. And while we're talking about the airport, I thought it was a perfect opportunity for a Stump the Trenton moment. Yes. Trenton, are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's see if you are stumped or if you are not stumped. What airline has the greatest market share when it comes to number of passengers going through Eppley Airfield? What airline has the greatest market share in Omaha?
I am going to go with Southwest.
Ding, 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 ding. We failed to stump the Trenton. He got it right. But I don't give up very easily.
I didn't know, but that was my guess. I figured that because of the direct connections and people seem to get on there.
Actually, they have it by a large margin. They have 35.3% market share in Omaha. Southwest Airlines really dominates.
You think with the money they could put some USB chargers on their chairs?
There you have it. But I don't give up easily. I'm going to stump you. Trenton, what is the number 2 airline for market share in Omaha?
That's easy. That's American.
Damn, you got it right. Okay, I'm going to get you on this one. Number 3?
Number 3, you want me to say United. It's probably United, so I'll say United.
Oh gosh, you're right. When you were saying that you want me to say United, it's probably United, but I'm going to go ahead and say Delta. I was ready to go, but unfortunately you said United and you got it right. You're good. You cannot stump the Trenton, so don't even try, folks. I probably won't do a stump the Trenton for several months now because I'm rather deflated because he got all 3 of those questions right.
I was coming in cold too.
Yeah, it truly was. It truly was a cold stumping that failed to stump.
I'm cold.
The long-awaited pickleball courts planned for Lewis and Clark Landing on the riverfront are still in the permitting process with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Bid packages have been issued and construction is expected to begin this spring. This was the last lingering part of the overall riverfront project. It is, if you can picture the Kiewit Luminarium, there's a little area just to the northwest of it where there's still construction fence and weeds. That's supposed to be the pickleball court. For some reason, it was not in the first phase of the project. And apparently, if anything is done in that area, proximity to the river, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has to give it its government bureaucratic stamp or whatever is involved. But we should be getting those pickleball courts. Thank God, Trenton, you can get out there and play a little pickleball soon.
You know, we are due for a major overhaul of the city's master plan. It's been like 30 years. And I was talking to my friend Ryan Blumkin, who said he's been playing pickleball for like 25 years. So he's like one of the OGs of pickleball in Omaha.
Yeah.
And with this new master plan, I wonder if they're going to put things in for office and retail, industrial, that if you have so many employees or so much square footage, you have to have pickleball, either indoor or outdoor. And I think we're getting pickleballed out, but there's a big one going to be opening up, Omaha Pickleball or something, going to be opening up pretty soon, Southwest.
Okay, that's a lot to follow there, but anytime you have a conversation with pickleball, master planning, and Ryan Blumkin all in one paragraph, you consider it a pretty good day. Recent Census Bureau data shows that brain drain in Nebraska is trending down. That's a good thing. In fact, get a load of this. Omaha employment since the pandemic has added a net of 67,000 jobs.
Excellent.
That's not bad. Okay, so
or we're settling for smaller brains.
Construction is just getting started on a club car wash at 183rd and Maple. That is immediately west of an existing Burger Detour restaurant. Club Car Wash, based in Columbia, Missouri, has 9 existing Omaha area locations. We bring this up for one reason and one reason only. We have probably been asked 29 times in the last month, what's going in next to Burger Detour on Maple? Now you know, Club Car Wash.
They've been pretty prolific. There's been some shakeout of some of the car wash brands. I would say my favorite is Tommy's Express, and I've done a bunch of those, and I use them, and I think they do a good job. But I would say Club Car Wash is a survivor. They're on a hold with Tidal Wave Car Wash. Rocket seems to plan a lot, but they don't build a lot. And a few, International Car Wash Group, which is one of the biggest, has tried to come into the market, and they've pulled out. I think they've sold some of theirs to Club Wash. And so, like a lot of cities, I think Mexican restaurants are next, because we have announcements on our news feed about more and more Mexican restaurants coming to Omaha.
And car washes. Okay, so we finish this morning's news segment with a bit of infrastructure news. Holy cow, you can tear down a bridge pretty fast. Last night at 9 o'clock p.m., the Harney Street Bridge over Interstate 480 was scheduled to be torn down. They were going to start at 9 p.m. last night. They did. At 8 o'clock a.m. this morning, the bridge was mostly gone. In fact, if you want to see what it looks like, just go to growomaha.com. It's right there on our top of our homepage. But if you click on that picture, there's a little bit of detail about it. I actually went down there this morning, and I'll be honest, I took the photograph. I'm no Brad Williams, but forgive me when you see the photograph. It's not bad, but I took this thing. I was standing on the Farnham Street Bridge, sticking my cell phone camera through the little spaces of the cyclone fence to try and get this. Under the circumstances, while no Brad Williams photo, I think I did a pretty good job.
I think it looks really well, and that it smells like a fresh picture, too.
And anyway, you'll be fascinated when you see this. 480 is being diverted for the weekend. It's supposed to be open for traffic by Monday morning rush hour. I think it will be. I mean, got to give Hawkins construction credit for this. They have brought this bridge down pretty fast. Now, the bridge is then going to be reconstructed. The new Harney Street Bridge will take a lot longer to build than the old one came down. It'll be late this year. And then next year, we do the same thing to the Farnham Street Bridge.
Did I tell you about the 4,000 square foot building at 2909 Farnham Street or Hardy Street that I have for sale.
Which time?
2909 Harney Street, right next to the church.
You said, did you tell me? I said, which time are you telling me?
I'm telling you twice right now.
Okay. Go ahead. Say it fast.
Many a times. I already did. Thank you.
Okay, so Trenton has a listing really close to the soon-to-be reconstructed Harney Street Bridge, and you can get a hold of him by sending a note to trenton.maggot@npdodge.com.
Yeah, or just Google Trenton, Omaha, and I will be there.
Trenton, I've always said you're one of those people that's like Cher. You just use your first name, and everyone knows who I'm talking about.
In a good way.
And that's your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, speaking of Eagle Mortgage, we've got the head of that company with us right now this morning. Her name is Holly Schneidewind, good friend of ours, good friend of Grow Omaha's. And because we are going into the beginning of meteorological spring on March 1st, we're going to talk about an update with home financing, because we know a lot of you are thinking about moving. That's the spring thing to do in America. So stay with us. You're going to love this conversation with Holly. That, of course, and many other things yet to come in the hour. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics. And we'll be back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Trenton, can I get you to drop that center nickel down?
You need to
Scott Voorhees.
one another.
I just updated it. Is that
So
down any further?
he did.
You know,
I had all kinds of animal signs.
he does your ads sometimes too.
I had all kinds of animal signs.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. Are you always here on a Saturday too?
Only when you're here.
Only when I'm here to make sure I'm behaving, or these guys are behaving?
I heard Jeff suggest that Trenton was a lot like Cher, so I came in to see if he was wearing the outfit.
You see what I have on under here.
Yeah, I should not. Good morning, everyone. Show's great.
Thank you.
How you doing, man?
Good morning.
Are you golfing today?
Listeners and viewers.
Do you do the
Like
indoor golf?
today?
Do you do indoor golf during the winter?
If you have to. This winter, I haven't had to.
Until
I can
lately.
play all winter. Yeah.
Until lately.
Around
You need me to do anything? Wendy sent that email about updating the thing.
Can you add any further? Sorry,
What?
I haven't had a chance to look at it. She said I didn't know.
How about I'll take a look at
That
that.
doesn't block his face?
I gotta do a few things in my
Lisa,
office.
can you
I
check?
need to be back there.
Sorry, kind of like you're going to talk to my
No, she texted me like, is Bill in today?
It's better.
Yeah, I
Thank
said,
you.
I'm actually almost there. I'll check.
like you're going to.
Okay, so you've updated
What's
it.
your man?
I updated it.
This is a test of the emergency
Deal
broadcast.
with parents.
Yeah, he and I talked
These
about that.
cameramen are worse than the talent.
Bad all.
Is he finding another
How's that?
place for it?
So, I believe they accepted him into the Elk Ridge Assistant
I like to see my
Care.
talent, Jeff, okay?
Just Bill?
Next to their,
Because it's a reflection on me if I
Mom will
can't.
still stay
Most
in the
people
other
don't want to
and
see this
they'll
talent.
be in
A lot of people don't even want to hear it.
Monday or Tuesday, I believe.
The good news, it only happens
Your
once
audience
per parent.
level might disagree with
Are your
you.
parents around?
My mom, my dad, no, he passed away in 2016. Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
No fun, is it?
No, the thing is my parents are 19 years apart, or were, whatever.
Keep in mind this is being recorded.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
It's not very exciting, but we want to hear about what's your maiden name?
Alexander.
Alexander?
I'm not sure I ever
You're
Went to
related.
Burke, so if anybody in
You're related to
Burke High
Joel
School.
Alexander.
Burke High School.
Burke High School, what?
University of Nebraska Lincoln.
Joel Alexander, you know that name?
Hey.
I went to
So you
Dodge
got,
High.
are both your kids licensed?
West Dodge High.
UNO.
Bree, did she take tests?
Working on it.
You know, it's funny,
She's in
when
class
my,
today to
when
do
my
the review-
parents
the
were-
review
Oh, the review,
class.
good.
Of high
She's
school
a
and college age,
test stressor.
people used to always say,
I hear
well, if
about
they're
that.
going to
Stop.
UNO, they're like, I'm going out to
I know, but
UNO.
my
I'm
heart
going
rate
out
goes
to
up every
UNO
time I talk
because
about it.
West Dodge, West Dodge was out there
John
from
Myers'
where a lot of
wife
people in Omaha
Took
lived.
the test.
Wow.
Now,
Did you
almost,
pass it?
I would say most of their
smart,
local
smart.
students live west of UNO, so they're going,
You know what? It makes
instead
a
of out
difference.
to UNO, going
I
back
don't
to
know. I'm
UNO.
not sure
Yeah.
what Bree's drama about testing is, but
No, I have
That's always been the
back to
joke.
test.
Always people my generation. They
I had
call
whole
it
summer to
Dodge
take
High.
to study for
Well,
the
that
test.
goes
I had
back.
to go to
That goes
UNO.
back to.
They gave it 11 times a year with a bubble test. So it took a couple weeks to get the
Yeah,
results
I think
back.
that started.
I
I think
missed
that
2
started
out
in
of
the 50s. I
132.
think we might have
So I
some
got that going for me.
older.
But once you pass, it doesn't
listeners
matter how you
on
pass.
Uncut that might
And I don't even know if
verify,
they tell you
but I'm pretty
what
sure
you-
that
they
goes
tell you
back
whether you pass or fail.
well before my generation.
so
Yeah.
she
Okay.
knew her
Ten seconds.
percentage. Maybe
Alright.
that's because she failed.
You talking about your generation?
Talking about my
She said
generation.
I with the mortgage test.
That's probably
Generation.
what
She
people don't.
got.
All right, here we go.
And she got 68.
Proud of my generation.
Onward and upward. Hey, groupies. Hey, yeah. Hey, groupies.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Maggot here in the KFAB studio. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics. They are the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. If you count all of the Cheer Athletics locations currently in operation and coming soon, it's about 15 of them. One of them's even in the United Kingdom, which is pretty cool. They started in Dallas. Omaha is very fortunate to have one of them. These things are the Cadillac of the all-star cheer business. And when I say all-star cheer, it's a big deal. I mean, it's going to be an Olympic sport in 2028 and generally considered one of the highest levels, if not the highest level of cheering as competition. Great place for your kids or grandkiddos to get involved and to really learn a lot of life lessons. You can find out more at CA is in Cheer Athletics, caomaha.com. Well, we have Holly Schneidewind with us. She is the owner of Eagle Mortgage. As sometimes they say on KFAB, Eagle Mortgage. You ever notice on the morning show, Holly, they'll say sometimes Eagle Mortgage.
No, but is that Scott that does that?
Scott, yeah. Sometimes they'll say Eagle Mortgage, or maybe.
Well,
Jim
you can
Rose
call us
does
whatever
that a lot.
you want. Just call us.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
So you guys have been around for 30 some years now, doing the mortgage business.
I know people ask me, and I'm like, hold on, I got to count on my hands, fingers, toes.
You run out. You don't have enough digits.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think there's. I don't know. You guys do the math. So Eagle started in 1991, and I joined in 1993.
Okay, so you've been around for 32 years and the company for 35 years.
Yep, we're going on.
And as everyone says, you started when you were 12, right?
Yes. That's where all these wrinkles come from.
You don't have any wrinkles. Holly looks
yeah.
great. But Holly, let's talk a little bit about the market. You know, we are getting so close to spring, and there's just something about, you know, when the weather turns. I mean, tomorrow it's going to be real nice. All next week's going to be real nice. There are probably maybe a lot of people looking at houses. What do they do to get started, and what do you need them to do if they're going to get a loan through Eagle Mortgage?
So first of all, everybody needs to get out of their heads that rates might come down. But you know what? I've got some people that are like, we're waiting on the sidelines. We're waiting for prices to come down or rates to come down. Well, let's not count on it. So yes, what do we need to do to get started? Let's get an application. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out, where do you want to be? What are the numbers? Have you budgeted? What do you want to spend? And then let's figure out, what does that back into for price or cash to close? And we just have a conversation.
And even if they think they're going to wait, or the rates are going to come down, or prices are going to come down, or the inventory is going to go up, by going to Eagle Mortgage, I assume you can kind of put them on the right track. You're going to be here today, tomorrow, 10 years, 20 years. So why not figure out what they can spend, and if they want more, figure out what they have to get between now and then.
Exactly.
I could work at Eagle Mortgage.
You could.
You know,
It's a hard test.
but you passed. And Holly, I guess I'm going to latch onto something you said there just a moment ago. You said some people sit on the sidelines waiting for prices to come down. I could see how people would hope that maybe interest rates might come down a bit, but prices of houses generally
not really. I
don't
mean, you know,
come down, do they?
we're not post-COVID, and I hate to even say that word anymore.
Yeah.
We're not past pandemic, where prices and people were offering way above and purchase price. You know, they were offering appraisal gaps and paying cash, and it's not happening that way right now. But our inventory, which that's my friends at, say, MP Dodge or any of the realtors can tell you, is the inventory is not crazy up there. So prices aren't coming down. I think they're selling for pretty close to list price now.
So it's not as competitive as
No,
it
it's
had
not
been.
as competitive. You know, you're still seeing some seller credits being paid right now. So you don't normally see that sometimes in the really competitive market.
I pulled up we'll call it a meme, but it's the back of Michael Steinberg's company card. Michael Steinberg is a very successful developer, built a lot of Walmart properties and things like that, did a lot in Omaha as well, from Omaha. And it's an old man with a cane, and it says, "The young man who waited for the price of real estate to come down."
No.
So
And he's no longer young.
he's no longer young. And I get it when
Buy now.
you hear about in Miami and the waterfront properties where the the billionaires are knocking out the 100 millionaires. That's not Omaha. But I can understand when people are concerned, when real estate's at an all-time high, and the rates have been pretty steady for the last couple of years, and even though if they're around 7%, we'll get into that, it's still affordable. I remember my first house, 94, was 8.5%. So, and people that are older than me
it's all a matter of perspective,
22%, right? But at the same time, should people be concerned if they're buying at the top of the market? What's the odds that it's going to go up versus go down? And I know you don't have the crystal ball.
Rates or property values?
Property values, let's say.
Oh, property values are not going down. In the last, 50 years, we've seen, 7 years that have actually been zero or negative in 50 years of history of real estate. So chances are, your property value is not going to go down. So I had somebody in my office yesterday, and we were kind of doing the pre-qual, the pre-approval. So we went through, and he's like, well, he wants to pay him a certain amount. Well, I tried to explain to him, you might not get your payment exactly where you want to go. You still qualify, but just remember, when you make your payment, part of that's principal pay down. You are paying towards your wealth, your assets. The other piece would be you get the appreciation in the property versus renting. Your landlord, you're paying your landlord to own that property and get that appreciation. So
we're talking with Holly Schneidewind, owner of Eagle Mortgage, and Holly, when the interest rates did go up, we saw a big drop in refinancing. Are we seeing any refinance work coming back?
Yes. So we're helping people, maybe it's not exactly a circumstance where we're dropping interest rates, but we are dropping monthly cash flow outgoing. So we are debt consolidating. It's just this time of year where people have now lived off some credit cards. They're having a little
18% or more.
Yeah, that's not good. So you know what? We're trying to help them manage their debt. That's what we do. You got a property, the asset managers manage the assets. We manage the liability. And that way it can help build those assets.
We have a lot of boomer and silent generation listeners, and we hear a lot about reverse mortgages. What's going on with reverse mortgages? How common are those? And what do people usually consider before they decide to go, yep, I'm going to have a reverse mortgage?
We'll take those calls from the silent generation.
From the silent generation? So, a reverse mortgage is, I'm getting more and more questions asked about it because we've got it 62 and older. It doesn't fit everybody, but it's worth a conversation. They're not the devil. I don't know how else to say it. People hear all kinds of bad things about reverse mortgage, and it's not as bad as what people say it is. They don't want your house. They're not going to take your house. It's still a mortgage. It's just a different type of mortgage. So we're utilizing their asset to help them either get by, take asset. Yeah.
Has that increased over the years? Has reverse mortgages increased? Has Tom Selleck done his job?
Don't go to Tom Selleck. Have they increased? Yes, I've got a couple in the works right now. So, yep.
Okay. Holly, you want to stick around a little bit? After the break, we might ask you another question or two.
All right.
All right. We're gonna keep Holly Schneidewind here in the studio and maybe ask her a question or two when we come back from the news. So stay with us. We also have our commercial real estate development spotlight of the week coming up. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Sorry about that. I was trying to motion don't ask another question, and then
don't ask another question,
and then use all this. You're like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So I didn't mean to cut you off.
You haven't.
I was heading off.
Trenton. Blythe.
You were trying to wrangle him in.
Yeah, I was trying to head off Trenton. And ended up cutting off.
It's a center sphere.
That first spot block threw me off because it was longer than I thought it would be. So
it's not
my bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's been a morning.
Hey, we're all good, man. We're all good.
Coming in and out for.
Why do you see
We got no complaints.
The boy
his
weather didn't
broker,
transmit properly. So
he's in a church or something.
real quick.
he and his, well, he's a broker, but looking at property market.
Gotcha.
Oh, no, I didn't think so. I was wondering.
Yeah, I've worked for a long time.
Where do you send your commercial clients?
Yeah,
like,
well, we have
if you have a
silent alarm going.
like residential agents always get commercial real estate clients. Like if somebody wants to finance a building,
Yes.
you know, a lot of different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple different.
Yeah, that was our-
Pinnacle Bank. So,
Yeah, that was our engineer.
Pinnacle Bank is one. Chris Conrad over there. And then,
Yeah, it's good.
At first, I thought it was something
where
that I
else?
might just be able
Some
to
guys
hit
at Core Bank.
F9 to get something going.
Yeah.
And then it was like, nope.
Maybe Access Bank. I don't
Did you
get
try
a ton of
turning it off
questions
and
on
Do they get
commercial.
money? Do they send money to yours, or they do their own?
You ever
No,
seen
I
the
don't.
show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
do
do.
their own.
Yeah. I could look at doing commercial, but I've always found
Are you
I'm not
licensed
as
to do
quite.
commercial?
I can do it.
British comedy.
I just have to sign up with
but
the
it's
companies
same
just like I
with
do
us.
on the other.
In,
But I just have found that hasn't been quite as
corporate
competitive
building.
than
And,
the local banks.
it's
Like
pretty fun.
I'm
It's
more of
hilarious.
this. I don't know, subprime is a
It's
terrible
one of
word,
those
but
shows
I'm
that
more. I
can't
think of
explain
that,
it,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be in that.
But if you
I don't
were
know.
in IT, you'll.
So I
You don't
just
wanna be
never did
commercial.
down in the
Even if you're not an
subprime
IT
commercial
developer.
world. I would have to do a little more research
Probably
now
one
to
of
find
those
out if
shows
I'm
where
as
I feel like
competitive
I've
as
met
the
every
banks.
character on that show.
You know what I mean? Why would
Yeah.
you come to me
Yeah,
if my
probably.
rates were
Because there's only been
terrible?
two
I just-
shows that I've
I
ever
Is Marcy
watched
still
where
in your
I'm like,
office?
I've met every
Yeah.
character on that
Running an
show.
Yeah.
Well, they're bringing in
She's
a gal
Not all the
who
time,
has
but
Her best life is
IT
incredible.
knowledge whatsoever.
She just came
talks
from.
They
about
hire
her
her to
LA,
run the
her
department.
party, her
Yeah.
whatever
And
concert when
She was
she's
a
got some
Metallica.
management
Or something?
skills, but
she's
I
in
know it.
some groups and they should
doesn't
do their
speak
Oh,
I think
John.
her videos. So she
Audio
just
video, yeah.
she just
Know
toured
much
with
about
Megan
computers,
Trainor
and
not too
so-
long ago. She
Is she still doing it?
the first season
well,
was kind of
she's
trying to
not
get
really,
her
but
fired.
they called
So
I could
trying
sub
to ask
for
her,
the
like,
guy who was doing it, so she went
what
for
does IT
a month or
do?
3
Yeah.
weeks, whatever it was.
She's got. You're in that group.
No, the two shows that I watch where I feel like
Circle.
or I know
I
I've
know.
met
we'll
every
say.
character
Who
on
was-
that
who
show.
do you have
The first one was
the into
Community.
the tickets or you know
I
the
worked
last
at-
once in a while.
I worked at Metro
Okay.
for several
Very down
years.
to earth too.
And I-
Cost of making a penny, cost of
I
making
thought
a
that was
nickel.
fascinating. I kind of want to steal this for Grandma.
Let's buy. Is it Schrock
Can I source you?
or
Oh, it's not me doing
What's,
it. I mean, it's
Diddy's
Elliot.
vodka?
I just get his.
Sure.
Oh, I thought you guys put this on one of
P.
your.
Diddy had a vodka or whatever.
Did he?
I don't know if anybody's drinking it, but we should buy the remnants or like the factory, and then we'll start a Grow Omaha vodka, and then our groupies on Omaha forums and the radio waves.
I don't know if they were so much groupies as they were criticizing us.
They can criticize.
So was
but-
I not talking into the mic? Could you guys not hear my?
Oh, I could hear you fine.
I think you're fine.
Yeah, I heard you
I thought
fine.
you were
I was
doing
checking your
this
levels
to
on
tell
that.
me something.
Oh, when I was doing this to Bill, I was communicating something completely different. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was saying it's okay if you run longer.
yeah, yeah. 'Cause
Right,
Bill,
I'm right about
Bill
it.
was going like this, and I was like, nah, yeah.
Shut up.
They have their own language.
You don't want to buy Disney's remnant.
Yeah, we're not gonna buy Diddy's remnants. Yeah, it might be too much baby oil mixed into that,
Hey, at least you know what the signals mean.
that vodka.
Some people don't.
Yeah, I know what the signals mean.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing.
When I was doing Nabs' show one time, he was just looking at me
Do you
like
think we should
this.
have
I'm
Grandma
like,
merchandise?
speed it up or
Do
slow
you want a
it
Jeff
down.
Beals bobblehead?
Yeah, slow down,
Yeah,
slow down, speed it up.
Yeah.
Is this for
Break
giveaways or
bubble
for
head.
purchase?
We're gonna have a Bill
Yeah.
Dixon Play-Doh fuzzy pumper.
That's Bill. Yeah, he's talking about that, Bill.
You can make your own swords.
Bill gets abused around here, mostly by Trenton.
No, it's not.
I don't even want to know what that is.
it's
'cause I have
affection.
no idea.
Actually, we could
It's an
do
affectionary
we could do a Play-Doh fuzzy pumper with my back hair. Like all that just comes out.
Brother, I want nothing to do with your rug. No thanks.
Back rug.
That'd be awesome. Who had a Play-Doh fuzzy pumper? Do you have one?
Oh, I had one.
What is it?
I had one.
You put the Play-Doh in there.
You didn't have
press
one?
it, and like the guy's hair
Oh, yes,
grows.
okay, I did.
My
Yes.
mind is going to
Oh,
places that I.
Did you have a light bright?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I had
You can see it at night. Did you have an easy bake oven?
Yes.
Did
Easy
you have a
bake makes
you didn't have Queasy bake oven. Your
I
kids
had a
probably
Queasy bake oven.
Queasy bake.
Oh, yeah?
It's a light bulb. My sister and I decided to put crayons, take the
I was
wrappers
baking
off
cakes
crayons,
in my bedroom.
and put it in the pan with
By-
the easy bake oven.
By the way,
to make candles.
the cakes that came out of those things sucked. Did you ever
Cooked
eat?
by a light bulb.
My sister had my sister had an easy bake cake.
You probably had a Queasy bake.
She had an easy bake cake oven. We were so excited, and she made her first cake. And I was like, "This is
Bring
awful."
the-
Yeah, but when I was making them, I'm like,
was-
this is the best thing ever.
It was inedible.
the best thing ever.
It was,
Tastes like mud.
it was a terrible cake.
Yeah.
You guys remember Jello had pudding in a cloud, where you'd have like a parfait or whatever dish, and you'd have clouds around it, and then you'd put pudding in the middle of it. My friend Tyler across the street he didn't know what he was doing. He did cloud in a pudding.
Oh, backwards, dyslexic.
All right.
Remember when we were kids, you'd sometimes go to family gatherings and someone would have green Jello with carrots in it.
Oh, it's the worst.
They still do, don't they?
Do they still?
Those people just hate
People
that.
still do that?
Hate
I haven't seen it
themselves.
since I was a kid.
Oh,
Go up to northwest
bad
Iowa,
enough.
north,
Oh, yeah.
west Iowa in the small.
That sounds like a Northwest.
I think the
Iowa
only thing allowed in Jello should be marshmallows and bananas.
We have a
the
delicious
record.
Jello salad. For today's cookout, we have a delicious Jello salad.
Yeah, stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here in Minnesota, although all the times I've
There
gone
you
to
go.
Minnesota, I've never seen carrots in the Jello.
I'm gonna open up a retail storefront for cakewalks. Like you can go.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid at your service. We're brought to you by Cheer Athletics along with Dingman's Collision Center, 4 metropolitan area locations, Northwest O near 120th and Maple. I have another one at 144th and Industrial Road, downtown Papillion, Midtown along Saddle Creek Road. They all do a fantastic job. And when you go there, tell them that Grow Omaha sent you. I don't know why you should tell them that, but I've always wanted to say that. Tell them that Grow Omaha sent you. At any rate, we thank Dingman's for being part of the show. It's time for your commercial real estate development spotlight of the week, which is brought to you by Noddle Companies. This is when we talk about projects and developments and news and activity happening in or around one of Noddle Companies' many local projects. And when I say many, I'm not kidding. They do a lot. Probably the most prolific developer around when you consider all the projects they've done over all the years, and not just in Omaha, but in other parts of the country as well. They are under the steady leadership of Jay Noddle, who is also a community servant. Working as the head of the streetcar committee right now, and so many other things. But we're proud to have Noddle Companies as part of the project. And you can learn more about them by going to noddlecompanies.com. Well, what are we going to talk about today for the Noddle Companies project? 2 things. They both involve Exarban Village. The first one is that the 20th annual Omaha Film Festival is going to be taking place on March 11th through 16th at ACX Cinemas in Exarban Village. This is going to be really cool. Information is available about it on the Exarban Village Facebook page. I guess you could probably learn about it by going to ACX Cinemas as well. Also, near Exarban Village, more of a growth and development topic, we've really seen a ton of progress on the apartments under construction at 71st and Mercy. So just west-southwest of Exarban Village proper, if you will. This is a heck of a project. It's a 4-story building, 200 units. One of the things that's quite unique about it is they built the project in such a way that it has its own parking garage. The parking garage is already done. Right now they're framing out the apartments. But we've had a lot of people say, what are they building, just east of 72nd and Mercy? That's what it is, 4-story, 200-unit apartment building. And it's, if you want to picture where this is, just north of the Think Healthcare office building.
They tore down another office building for it.
Yeah, that was an old. I think 1960s era building, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, built by John Madden, not the one that most people know, but a prolific developer that was from Omaha, then moved to Denver. And actually, Jay Noddle used to work for him in Denver and was very successful.
It was a building that it was very nondescript, though. It didn't have a ton of windows, and
The area was built, yeah.
yeah, I remember at one time the Social Security office was in there, and when we got married, we went in there to change my wife's name. We wanted to do that real fast before she changed her mind.
What was she before Stephanie?
Winter.
Oh,
Stephanie Winter. You knew that.
I thought you were talking about her first name.
Okay.
Was there another apartment complex that's going to be built to share this parking garage?
Not that I know of.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay, maybe. Well, we have Holly Schneidewind with us. She is head of Eagle Mortgage, one of our longtime sponsors. And Holly, I wanted to ask you just a couple more questions before we let you start your weekend. The first one is home improvement loans. There are always that group of people out there who are thinking they want to move, and then at some point they say, you know what, let's just fix up the place we have. So what's the latest the latest trends, if you will, with home improvement loans?
So I think people are staying in their homes knowing that we have 3% interest rate, 3.5% interest rate. So yeah, people are calling asking. We can do several different things. You can do a home equity line of credit, basically pulling equity out if you need it to do some work. You can do a home equity loan. Maybe you could just redo the whole loan in what we call a renovation loan. So we do have those available too. And actually, you talk about people already in their houses. That doesn't mean we can't also use those for people purchasing a house that needs some work. So we see a lot of houses stuck, in the 1970s that people are buying. I just saw one that still had the orange carpet. No, this one had orange
on
carpet.
the walls. Now, you just said 3.5%. People's heads, their ears are perking up.
Right.
What do you mean by 3.5% versus
interest rate?
Rate
And we
lock.
do not currently. Yeah. So let's just say I currently have a 3.5% interest rate on my home. Currently. So that's what's causing the shortage of houses on the market, right? Because why do you want to move or people move when current rates, which you mentioned, what are rates doing now? I hear that all the time. What are the interest rates? That just depends. There's so many factors that go into an interest rate. But why would somebody want to move when rates could be around 7% now? So why would you double your rate? But I'll tell you what, circumstances happen, families grow, families downsize. Circumstances require people to either refinance, purchase, move around. And guess what? You still have the house. Marry the house, date the rate.
Marry the house and date the rate.
So eventually when rates do come down, which we're anticipating they are going to, just a matter of when.
Okay, let's say that somebody has a 3% or 4%, whatever their rate is. They want to keep that rate, but they want to put 20% of their home value in remodeling. Can you do a second?
Yes.
At a 7% or whatever it is, maybe it's a little higher.
Whatever the current rate is.
And they can keep their first rate.
Correct.
And so it's a blended rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's one of the options.
I think you're going to get a lot of business this week. Eagle Mortgage, tell them Trenton sent you.
Yeah.
And with that, Holly, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. But thanks for joining us this morning, and we also appreciate your sponsorship of Grow Omaha.
Yeah. So thanks for having me on. It was great. And now I get to start my weekend.
Holly Schneidewind,
Hell of a start.
Owner of Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. I'm going to take our final break in the hour. And when we come back, we'll have our Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. So many things to talk about in a very short period of time. Stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Awesome. Well, you can cut out any of it or
Nice
all of it. The live part, maybe not necessarily.
Oh, yeah. Keep your part in. Yeah.
So,
These are like iPhone
looping.
sandals.
iPhone sandals.
They're kind of like, I'm not going to use. Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. We won't go there. Only Trenton.
We have some leeway on
We're
Uncut,
good.
I think.
Well, thank you guys.
Well, Holly, say hi to the rest of the Schneidewinds
Yeah.
and have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck
Hopefully I'm going
crawling.
into the office, so.
Good luck
Hopefully
crawling that
nobody
husband of
calls.
yours. Yeah.
That's not even possible. Nope, not even possible, you
God
guys.
bless you.
All right,
Have fun.
guys.
All righty. See ya. Thanks for coming in.
We'll see ya.
Have a good weekend.
I don't know if you guys, I was gonna ask, do you guys see more condos going up? Do you see more
No.
condo construction?
No. In
We did a
fact,
show on that.
there were, if you count all commercial and residential condos, I don't remember the exact number, that were constructed in Omaha or completed in Omaha last year, it was like 10 units, not buildings, units.
Units.
It-
I think we
it's-
should
it's
need more condo
non-existent.
units around here, because people want the
They want 'em.
apartment, they don't want the maintenance, but yet people need to own
But
it.
the OHA fees are ridiculous, and you hear the stories about people taking over the boards.
But those OHA
Depends.
fees are everywhere for condos, and every other city of Omaha size is building tons of condos right now. And we
People
passed a
pay it 'cause
law
they don't want
30
the
seconds.
hassle.
because they like it.
Yeah,
And
so we
we
need to-
passed a
You
law.
finance a lot of condos
few-
when they exist.
I can finance.
We passed a law a few
I don't know
years
how
ago
to
that
do
makes it easier for developers to do condos, and they're not taking advantage of it.
I would love to figure it out.
I don't know.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
All right,
I
bye, guys.
unfortunately am not a condo developer, so someone else has to do it.
Hello, Uncut followers, all 7 of you.
Here we go.
It's been a beautiful day. Bill Dixon in the house, ladies and gentlemen. The original sword swallower. Oh, I'm sorry. What do you do? Oh, you do.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid at your service. It is time for your Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things very fast. And it is brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction. They are a full-service general contractor that has a great deal of experience building all types of buildings. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about a from-the-ground-up office building, church, retail building, or anything else, or if you're talking about building out and renovating spaces inside an existing building, they do all of that. They stretch from Grand Island and North Platte all the way east into Iowa up to Sioux City. And of course, they're big time here in the metro area. Dave Kreitzer is the owner. We know Dave very well and can personally vouch for his talent, his work ethic, and his integrity. So Perkins Kreitzer Construction, use them if you are looking for a project contractor, and find them at p-cconstruction.com. Well, a few things that we have to go over today, so many of them. Prairie Flower Casino recently unveiled its expansion. They went from 7,000 square feet to 70,000 square feet.
Was that just for the smoking section?
It may have been. Maza Middle Eastern Cuisine plans to open early this summer in the former Sofra Kitchen space, and that is at 220 South 31st Avenue in Midtown Crossing. Típico Helado, a Mexican ice cream concept, plans to open its fourth location later this year. It's going to be in the Old Market, Trenton. This is in the former Niche space. And just to the west of that, we announced a couple months ago that a Korean restaurant is going in. So a nice little bit of rejuvenation for that part of the Old Market.
Excellent.
The Runza restaurant at 965 South 72nd Street has reopened for business. They tore it down late last summer. It had been, for you old-timers, a Broncos. In fact, I'm so old, I remember when that Broncos was built. At any rate, it became a Runza restaurant many, many years ago. They decided they no longer wanted a Runza that looked like a Broncos.
Or tasted like one.
And so they built a new one. Looks real nice, and it is open and up and operating. Everbowl, an acai and superfood restaurant, is holding a grand opening March 6th. This is at 2913 South 168th Street. So that's just a little bit southeast of 168th and Center. Local owners Jill and TJ Isaacs plan to give away 300 Everbowls between 5 and 8 p.m. on March 6th. This is a California-based chain with about 100 locations nationwide.
And you can wash it down with either crumble cookies to your north or nothing but cake to your south. 2 more locations of Everbowl are planned for the metro area, but those locations have not been announced. Red Lotus Thai Express had a ribbon cutting this week for its new restaurant in Papillion. Sugared Ledge Bakery near, it's a little bit northwest of 204th and Dodge. They have temporarily closed in order to refresh the space and expand the menu. They expect to be reopened sometime in March. Then we have Bounce Culture Fitness Studio, plans to open in early March, 97th and Giles Road in La Vista. This is a locally owned boutique fitness studio that will offer mini trampoline workouts, which sound pretty cool. Hard, but sound pretty cool. Got some closings. Poke Boba House in the Old Market, closing February 28th. The Hardee's Restaurant at 811 North 205th Street. That's near 204th and West Dodge Road. It closed, going to be replaced with an Abelardo's restaurant. And just up the street from that, a little bit to the west, Omaha Bakery has closed, really close to the Mark and some of that stuff up there. I think that's Cumberland Drive that's on. And then speaking of closures, better watch out because more than 30 Omaha businesses face potential closure because of unpaid food and drink permits. That according to Douglas County Health Department's February 19th announcement. Hopefully, since then, that's 3 days ago, some of these businesses have taken care of that little demographic necessity.
And let's see, what else do we have here? La Poblanita, a South Omaha Mexican restaurant that abruptly closed last August, is doing to-go orders today from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. from a private kitchen. The menu includes pozole blanco, rojo with 2 chicken. I don't think we need to get into these details, but if you want to do it, you can go to their Facebook page and learn all about it. And that was, like I said, in South Omaha. And then speaking of South Omaha, we have a really cool complex going in at 36th and just near the it's Z Street, which is going to be a cool commercial use for that. So, out of time. That's it for this week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction, Cheer Athletics, and Dingman's Collision Center. We'll chat with you next week at 9 right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB. That was a fumbled sign-off.
Did you hear what he said?
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.